made it up here. Long drive, but we finally made it out to scout for my other tag. Really excited. Already seen a buck. It is a cool little buck that I've actually seen the last trip about 2 weeks ago. He's just a really weird 2-point. I got a cool photo of him, I'll show you. And then I see a doe right down in this basin. But this is just going to be a quick little intro because I made it here this evening and nothing special is going to happen. I'm just going to try to glass a little bit new areas. I found the giant. He's moved quite a ways. He's with that really cool Massey 3-point. And then another awesome buck I've seen before. They're not very far though, I don't want to be talking too loud. But I found him, along with 20 other does, a few other small bucks, but yeah, unreal. That just made the whole trip worth it because I was kind of worried because where I saw him 2 weeks ago isn't that far, but it's also a ways, which I figured they'd move in 2 weeks. But you just never know with deer, they might move 10 miles. But I found him and he freaking got a lot bigger than I last seen him. We got him, a lot of good footage. Probably not going to show you guys, but I'm going to kill that deer. I'm going to work my ass off to make it happen. I'm hiked in here quite a ways, so hopefully no one knows about him, but who knows? It's public land. Guess you just never know. But tomorrow the plans changed. I was going to head in a lot deeper and camp in my tent and do the backcountry style thing because I ended up glassing a buck in that far basin that I was going to do that in, and I saw him tonight, so I know there's another big deer way over there that I definitely need to go and look at next few days. But I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna sit here and try to relocate this big boy and just truly try to pattern him the next few days, and then maybe in a day or so I'll backpack in and go and scout all that other stuff. But I don't know, this is by far the biggest buck. Definitely want this deer. Alright, good morning. It's day number 2, and we made it to the same glassing point, but kind of on this other little backside. And I already glassed the big boy up. He's still with the 2 buddies, which is cool. They didn't move at all in the exact same spot overnight, so that's a good sign. That's giving me a lot of hope for the hunt. And then I've glassed up probably 10 does, another little buck over in this meadow. But yeah, been a crazy good morning already. Hopefully you guys enjoy this next little bit of footage. Been a little while since I updated you. Moved out of that area. I'm about back to the truck and figured I'd update you, but ended up seeing that really big deer, as I told you. Got a lot of crazy awesome footage, and I just don't want to share it yet, so I'll share it probably during the hunt and all that good stuff, for reasons I'm sure some of you guys understand. But beautiful deer, definitely a #1 buck. Ended up seeing another big deer way in the far basin that I was kind of telling you guys about earlier. Saw him again with another one, and then after that I just stayed patient, watched the bucks, made sure I could see kind of what they're doing, because the best way to pattern big deer, and I'm in the learning process right now, because normally I can never pattern big deer in my other units just because it's not glassable. They kind of disappear fast, so you don't really know where they bed. But this open country, as you can tell, it's pretty dang open. You can definitely pattern them. You can definitely understand kind of what they do, where they get water, and where they want to get and go and find shade for bedding. Obviously, #1 thing during the day is definitely shade for deer. It gets 90+ degrees up here, so they definitely want to be in shade. They want to be kind of close to water if they got thirsty, and then good feed. So that's kind of what you can look for. But this buck, that's exactly what he did. He ended up going down to the creek, taking a good drink out of. He ended up heading down to the creek, which I didn't know was a creek, but now I do. So I marked that on my waypoint. I also marked where I saw him at the beginning of the morning, and then kind of where he went. So last night he was, say the basin is like this. He's on this side. He kind of crested over, bedded on this side, in the shade. And then this morning he was pretty much in the same exact bed, and then he came back and then dropped down to get water, and then he went up, and I ended up watching him bed under these big cliffs about, I don't know, 500 yards from where he was this morning. So they definitely seem to kind of do that pattern. So that's good to know. Marked everything, like I said, marked where his bed is, marked where the water was, and marked where he bedded last night, and then I'll just keep doing that. And over time, I'll kind of get an idea of what his pattern is. So if you guys didn't know, that's kind of what the process is for me to try to pattern some of these big deer, and this one's definitely patternable. I've seen him every single time I look for him, and man, he's freaking big. I cannot wait. He's going to be one of the biggest deer I ever hunt, for sure. But that being said, we're going to head out of here. Like I said, about back to the truck, and then got a long day ahead of me to do nothing. I might honestly head 2 hours to town and go get something to eat, which is going to be kind of stupid to go drive, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. Made the long hike over here. Last time I saw the big boy, he was kind of on the side that I was on, like glassing him from. So I got on Onyx, found this different hill quite a ways away. I mean, it was 2.5 mile hike. Just got that done, and then I happened to just literally glass where I last seen him, and he's moved about 100 yards lower. Looks like there's a few bigger bushes that he was finding shade. So found the big boy once again. He's in a crazy rock slide. Now we're just getting good footage on this cliff. Look at this. Pretty freaking awesome country. I'm falling in love with it. I'm more than excited to hunt this stuff too. I think it's only maybe 4:30, 4:40, and he's up feeding right now. So that gives me a good idea. Like I said, you just gotta be patient, be consistent, and take a lot of notes so I can try to pattern this sucker and get him on the ground in the next month or so. We moved a little bit different of an area, pretty much just on the back side of where I was. Look at how cool. And I just popped over here and I found a new buck. Just a cool little 3x4, but it's always fun seeing new deer, that's for sure. Might be a few with him. But watch the big boy. He ended up catching something's wind. Could have been me, honestly, because I wasn't that far. Maybe 300 yards. But also he saw cows and got all spooked and kind of headed out. So I just decided to back out and go and hit this ridge line and try another spot before it gets dark. But look how cool. Love it up here. I cannot get enough of just living life. It's day number 3 out here, morning number 2. It's been a lot slower. I haven't seen the big boy, I haven't seen any of the half decent bucks either. I've only seen a whole bunch of little dinkers. And then lots and lots of does. Still fun though. Never a bad day when you're on the mountain. So now, yeah, now I'm gonna hit this top, glass into these other little basins, and just keep rolling. It's about 3:30 p.m. and we're headed into a different spot. Biggest advice that I can give to you guys is find where water is. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but I'm kind of in the desert type stuff. So best advice is find where a lot of water is. And it seems like there's a lot of springs and a lot of water in every single one of the bottoms of these big canyons. And there's big bucks and a lot of deer around it. So that's pretty obvious. I'm sure some of you guys know, but figured I'd help out if I can. But number one thing to look for in this desert country is water, and then the next thing is some cover, like trees, quakies, cliffs for shade, and you'll find big deer. But like I said, water is key. Where there's water, there's life, a lot of life. So this is awesome. This is good to know. And also I'll probably be camping up on this top ridge line. So today I decided to come in a lot different area because I've been seeing a big deer in these far basins and I haven't quite made it back there since a few weeks ago. So decided to see if I can take a shortcut. It's a lot steeper and a lot more elevation, but it cuts off 2.5 miles. So that's what I'm doing tonight. But we got water in the bottom. I'll probably camp in the top, and the way I'm gonna most likely pack camp in is definitely hit this ridge line and keep cruising it, because it's a lot easier than dropping elevation just to go way up it. So that's the thing. Let's see if we can't find this big deer and get some cool footage, get an idea of what he actually is, because he was a stud last time, and then I have seen him the past few days, but he's been so far it's hard to see what he truly is. So this is a lot steeper than it looked on onX and from afar. I am dying though. The heat is baking me. That's okay though. That's the whole point, is for days like these that you grind, put in that work when no one's watching. A lot of normal people don't post things like I do, so there's a lot of people out there outworking everyone that don't post nothing. And that's my inspiration. But I post it because this is my dream and hopefully it inspires some of you, so that's what I'm doing. Doesn't mean it's fun all the time though. I'm dying. Holy crap, it's hot. But we're making it. 1 foot at a time, that's all you can do. And in life, if you're having a hard time, just 1 foot at a time and you'll get somewhere. So big buck finding time in about an hour. Made it to where I'm gonna glass for the evening. It's freaking cooking. Had to get the lightweight hoodie out because the sun was cooking me so bad, so I need the shade. Not much shade on this open slope. Wish me luck though. Haven't seen anything yet in these shadows that I can see. And where that buck normally is kind of in this cut that isn't quite shadowed yet, and I think he's probably bedded somewhere in these cliffs. And I can't quite tell, or the heat waves are so bad I can't quite see good enough, so keep you guys updated. But this is the last evening of this scouting trip, so hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. I wish I could show you that big boy, but I don't want to, just in case. And that's why I haven't been showing too much of the country off either. Definitely don't want to mess up my chances by getting more people in here, especially after a buck like him. Alright, I found something. He's in the exact same spot where I figured a buck would be. And he finally fed out, so let's see. Yeah, I think it's the big boy. Let me hurry bright you up. It's kind of hard to tell. But you know what's crazy is every single time I see this buck, he is within 200 yards of this little tiny rocky basin. It's definitely a big one. I mean, really big. Definitely second biggest, but he could be bigger than my number one. I just can't tell. I don't know how I'd even be able to get a closer look at him ever. I mean, he is so far over there in a crappy crap hole. But he ended up bedding back down. But man, his frame is big. Super wide and boxy and tall. Like he has it all. Deep forks. But I still haven't got like an insanely perfect look at him. I can just see him walking through when he's like a dark bush. You can kind of see his frame and forks, and he's big. Definitely same buck that I saw last time. So that's cool knowing he's that consistent. We got options though. I do see a ridge that I could potentially set camp up on, and that means I'd just be there and glassing up at him. It'd be like about probably about a mile up to him, so I wouldn't be anywhere near him to scare him, but it also could be a really good place to camp, and then there's water down in the bottom or the canyon, so there's potential. I'm definitely going to be hunting the big boy that's back this way about 3-4 miles, and then this will kind of be just to have options, because you just never know. Might be people watching that deer. He's definitely closer to a road than this sucker is. This one's freaking in here, but that's why we do it. Found the buck we're looking for. The hike was worth it. Last evening out here, gotta love it.